Hey, welcome back to the eDrum Workshop. I'm Luke and I hope you're having a great day. Just a quick video today addressing something that I've seen come up quite a few times in my years in the electronic drum scene, but a lot more recently with the release of the Roland VAD kits. A term that I've seen people use to describe these kits alongside with using it in a lot of other applications in the electronic drum scene is the word hybrid. I think in a community like ours it's important to have consistent definitions for terminology, otherwise it can become a bit of a minefield for newcomers and it can lead people to think that products can do things that they might not be able to do. So let's dive into this a little bit. Now, of course, in terms of the actual definition of the word hybrid, you could easily argue that it pretty much just means a mix of two different things to create a new thing. So if you wanted to, you could probably make the argument that turning a low volume cymbal into an electronic one would be some kind of hybrid cymbal. But is it really a combination when you're replacing one usage with another? That cymbal no longer functions properly as a low volume cymbal. I mean, the volume will still be low, but the idea behind low volume cymbals is to have a functioning acoustic sound. It should retain the playability of a standard acoustic cymbal, but just at a much lower volume, give or take. But when you add a trigger to this, you can't use that intended functionality anymore. If you're aiming for it to trigger well, the trigger components will stop it from vibrating very well, so you won't get any of that acoustic sound that's associated with low volume cymbals, and it will quite severely change the playing experience. And this is where the distinction for me lies. The hybrid moniker really should be being applied in terms of the functionality, not just the aesthetics. And I would argue the same thing for the entire kit. If you're taking the acoustic heads off your drum kit, you're sticking mesh heads onto it, you're putting internal triggers inside it, maybe some rubber rims, and then you're going to play with electronic cymbals alongside it, that is not a hybrid kit. You've completely repurposed the kit from one thing to another. It's gone from acoustic to electronic. And that's why you'll see the name acoustic to electronic or A to E conversion bandied around a lot in the eDrum scene too. So when it comes to things like the Roland VAD kits, the 306, the 503, the 506, I've seen a lot of people describe those as hybrid kits. And the hybrid name is something that Roland have used a lot themselves in previous marketing materials. They usually use it for products like the TM6 Pro, the SPD-SX, and the clip-on triggers that are supposed to go on your acoustic drums. And that's not without good reason. These are devices that are primarily designed to be using alongside your acoustic kit to add electronic elements. You're either triggering sounds from a pad that you've incorporated into your acoustic setup, or from triggers that you've placed on your acoustic drums. And those triggers don't stop you from being able to use your drums as acoustic drums. They still play like one, they still sound like one, and you're typically still using the sound from it. But Roland themselves don't apply the word hybrid to the VAD kits, and I wouldn't either. So when defining hybrid, I'd say it's when you're using acoustic and electronic elements alongside each other for their intended purposes. Basically, you've got acoustic on one end, you've got electronic on the other, and all of that grey area in between is pretty much the hybrid spectrum as long as we're talking about functionality. So that was quite a lot of words just to explain one word, but I felt like I wanted to share my take on it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is this useful knowledge, or is it just being overly pedantic? Are there any other eDrum or hybrid related words that you struggle with and you would like defining? I'm very mindful of the fact that Justin at 65 Drums did a video a few years ago that went into a lot of the basic elements. Things like piezos, dynamic curves, his video for that still stands up well today. So I'm trying my best not to duplicate content, but if you do want my take on something, or if there's a topic that neither of the videos have yet addressed, let me know down in the comments. And if you like this sort of quick-fire format, let me know that too, and pop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Short-ish and sweet. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!